but I'm Sue Harmsworth, Chief Executive of SBAR. And we're very short on time, and what we've decided this year is we're going to have the students present to you their concept. They've all worked enormously hard, and over the year it's been wonderful working with them. I'm not supposed to say thank you, but I would say thank you to Mary Tabachi, who's an icon in our industry and has really coached and worked hard with them. As you may or may not know, and thank you for getting up so early, we need support. These kids are our future, and we all feel very strongly about the Student Challenge. It's the 5th annual Student Challenge this year, and all the schools are from India, and the architects have been, we tried to get people, international architects who've worked in India so that we could honor the culture as much as possible. And the brief, as you probably know, was to design a spa of the future. It had to encompass authentic Indian culture and, if possible, be rolled out globally, must be commercially viable, credible, and proven. So, no pressure, guys. Now, as you may or may not know, our judges are also our sponsors. And again, they've been hugely supportive because they also feel that the students are our future. So I'd like to introduce them to you. If you wouldn't mind standing up, guys. We have Philippe Boyen, COO of Orient Express. Adrian Egger, Managing Director of the Spa Division at Class in Germany. Sami Gariani, founder and CEO of the Gariani Group in Germany. Sheila McCann, General Manager of Shivasom International Health Resort in Thailand. And is Simon here? No. Well, Simon Casson is Regional Vice President and Global Spa Chairman of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, based at the moment in Doha. And all of these guys, as well as being judges, have been our sponsors. And I would like to personally thank them because it shows a dedication to all of you. So because of the shortness of time, I'm now going to hand over to Mary, who's going to introduce the students and their architects and professors. So thank you all.
Good morning. We're really excited for this year's competition. Every year it's a real honor to work with these students, and sometimes pretty humbling because they're pretty creative. So we're really excited, and thank you all for coming this morning. I know it's bright and early. So the first group is the Indian School of Business, and I'd like them to come up at this stage. We have Mansi Chawla, Isha Gupta, and Abhinav Ramagir. Let's give them a big round of applause. And I'd also like to thank, and I'd like the professors to stand. So we have Sridhar Samu. Thank you very much. And we have the architects, Madhav Raymond. And Kathy Kohli. So this is the wonderful team that's worked on the first presentation, and go for it. I know you're all excited, so.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. By show of hands, how many of you have been to an Indian wedding? A lot of them. Everybody who's been to an Indian wedding would realize that there are lots of people in an Indian wedding, right? There are hundreds, if not thousands of people in an Indian wedding. Have you ever been to another Indian event like a get-together or a family get-together or a function? Even there, you will realize that hundreds of people in there. And forget about Indians in India for a moment. Just think of Indians in UK. Yes, just think of Indians in the US. Even there, festivals, events, celebrations have a lot of people. This concept of group gatherings, group celebrations is a critical component of Indian culture, right? But why is it that spas in India primarily focus on the solitary traveler or the couples? Essentially, it is about a few people going to a spa to get nirvana, to basically essentially relax. We believe that there are group segments in India which are underserved, as in that there are not many spas in India, in fact only a few spas probably, which focus on the group travelers. And from our primary research, we have identified 4 different segments of group travelers in India who we believe are underserved and definitely benefit from a spa which focuses exclusively on the groups. There is another component in the Indian spa market which we believe is underserved, and that is the concept of integrative wellness. Have you ever been to a spa where essentially you go to a spa, initially the consultant who speaks with you suggests something else, but then what they're offering is totally different, totally contrary to that. Essentially, for example, according to Ayurveda, you belong to a certain body type and you're supposed to go through some particular treatment, but ultimately what they end up giving is something else. This concept of integrative wellness again is offered only a few spas in India and is like primarily unmet in the Indian market. And finally, affordability is important in India. More than the price we pay, I think it is the value for money that we are seeking. When we combine all these 3 unmet needs together, we get our spa, the Sartha. The Sartha essentially is a resort spa that is focused on group retreats. And our spa essentially combines the Indian wellness techniques with local cultural experiences to provide an affordable yet rejuvenating experience for our guests. So what do we intend to provide? We intend to provide an environment that will help guests relax, celebrate and bond. The Sanskrit word Sartha means a group of people traveling together, which signifies our commitment to exclusively catering to groups of people who are traveling, essentially group segment. Let's look at the segments we intend to target. As I mentioned, the Indian wedding market. Anybody who's been to an Indian wedding would realize that it's especially very hectic for the people who are actually, in that particular wedding, the immediate family, the bride and the bridegroom. So we believe that there essentially is a segment of people out there, and we confirm that with our primary research, who would want some of their pre-wedding events or maybe some of the post-wedding events to be conducted in a spa. How does it work? For example, you can have a mehendi party. A mehendi party is essentially a party in which the bride applies a red-colored henna on her hands and her friends and well-wishers come to wish her. Now you can have this particular party in a resort spa where your friends, family and the other people who come to the party can undergo this spa treatments in the morning, relax, and by the evening they can have a more laid-back mehendi party and prepare for the hectic marriage that's coming up. How big is this market? Anybody who's followed the wedding market in India would realize that there are a lot of weddings which happen in India. In fact, 500,000 weddings happen in NCR every year. NCR is the national capital region, and this is where we intend to keep our spa. And even if our target market is 1% of this, and even if we expect a penetration of 0.5%, this is a huge group of people that we're targeting. And how do we intend to reach these people? We intend to partner with the best wedding planners in the national capital region. And we also intend to have a huge presence on the digital and social media marketing space, because all the people we want to target are present over there. And what will we offer to these people? We intend to offer bridal and family spa packages, not just for the people belonging to the immediate family, but for everybody who comes to the mehendi party. And we intend to have group yoga and meditation sessions. We intend to have wedding themes based on the different cultures and regions of India. Anybody who's traveled in India would realize that India is a very diverse country. Every region, every community has their own way of celebrating weddings. So we intend to have different themes for our pre-wedding events. And finally, we will have in-house makeup artists as well. The other segment that we intend to target is the corporate segment. We have spoken to a few corporate executives, and almost everybody agrees that the current locations for their corporate retreats are very standard in a way, and they've kind of become boring right now because they've been going there for some time now. We believe having a corporate retreat in a resort spa where your spouses can relax, you can relax, have a very chilled out environment is a very good place to have a corporate retreat where your team can bond well and also relax at the same time. This market also is pretty big. We are essentially targeting the IT, which is the information technology and the IT-enabled services market, and it has huge potential in India. And how are we going to reach these people? We are going to partner with the best travel agents again. We are going to have a proper digital marketing strategy again. And also we intend to offer loyalty programs and corporate discounts to attract this clientele. What will we include in these packages? We will have pre-booked spa appointments for everybody. We will have group yoga and Vedanta sessions. These people they're an overworked lot. They definitely need some relaxation. They definitely need some de-stressing. And we'll have group yoga and Vedanta sessions for them. We intend to have health high teas and fitness lunches. and also individual and group music therapy sessions. This is one of our unique offerings, and we intend to offer this music therapy sessions which will de-stress them, and we'll also have some team building workshops. The third group of segment that we intend to target is a group of friends, mostly female. We've realized from our research that women of the age 15 to 40 essentially need a fourth place to kind of get together, chat, and bond. We've realized that the current locations in India are not enough for them to kind of relax and at the same time network and bond with each other. We believe that this particular market is also growing and significant in size. We intend to reach these women by doing promotions in malls, movie theaters, by advertisements on radio and newspaper advertising, and also by using digital marketing. What will our packages include? Our packages will include weight loss and other wellness programs, primarily based on Ayurveda. We'll have spa and salon treatments, and we also will have treatments like vinotherapy, which is the Indian wine therapy. This is one of our creative offerings again. And we'll have health, food, cookery classes, and also cultural shows. And finally, we intend to target the great Indian joint family. Anybody who has kind of ever seen a great Indian joint family would realize that these people love to travel together. And nowadays, the upper middle class and the rich Indian families essentially want to celebrate their festivals and get-togethers in innovative and creative locations. And we believe Sartha, our spa, will essentially meet this need. So how are we going to reach these people? We are going to do promotions in restaurants, malls, movie theaters, and again partner with travel agents and do a little bit of digital marketing as well. And what will our packages include? Our packages will include festival-themed events and activities. There are about 12 major and minor festivals in India, and around each festival we'll probably have a theme, and we'll have the members of the family essentially celebrate these events there and also undergo spa sessions. We'll have wellness treatments that are suited to the season and also suited to the particular event. For example, Diwali will probably have one specific kind of spa treatment specially focused on them, and then maybe Dasera, Ramzan will probably have another kind of spa treatment. And we'll have cultural shows related to that particular event and also Vedanta sessions, and also have family gift hampers from our art gallery. So where does this place us vis-a-vis our competitors? As you can see, in India there are essentially two different kinds of spas. One is the high-end spas like Ananda in the Himalayas and Wildflower Abrai, which are essentially placed very well on the integrative wellness part. So they really take care of you once you go there, but then they don't do as well on the affordability portion. And then there are the other set of spas like the O2 spa and the Four Fountains spa, which are very good on the affordability space, but then they have a very piecemeal approach to providing spa treatments. So we believe Sartha essentially is in a sweet spot where we are able to provide affordable treatments, but also which will do very well on the integrative wellness quotient. And there is a third element to this as well. We are focused on a specific set of customers, the groups which are essentially underserved. So we believe we are in a spot which is essentially growing and also is underserved right now. And that kind of comes through in this particular slide where we show that we have a unique product in a way. So our product essentially is focused towards the group segment, and it's focused on integrative wellness, and it's also intended to be affordable. At the same time, we have a narrow focus which is growing and underpenetrated. Thank you.
So let's see where we are located. Okay. So we are located basically at the Garden of Five Senses in New Delhi, which is one of the prime locations in South Delhi, but at the same time away from the daily hustle bustle of life. We'll be following a hub and spoke model for our building, and we'll have a green building design and would be applying for LEED simultaneously. The main block would basically comprise of the central facilities, including the lobby and the food and beverage area, which will then open up into different facilities of the resort. Accommodation. So our accommodation will follow the theme of Pancha Mahabhutas, which we have derived from the principles of Ayurveda. So how we like to play around with this theme is basically replacing the soft furnishings so that we can easily turn around our inventory as per the requirements of the guests. Here is a mock setup of the Agni room, which actually represents the fire element of nature. Coming to the Ayurveda offerings, over and above the standard Ayurveda treatments, we will be sealing the experience by offering them herbal teas and drinks from our herbarium. Herbarium would be a location next to each and every spa, so that post your treatments, you can actually experience authentic Indian teas and drinks. followed by Ayurveda steam baths using Indian herbs, which is called the Svednas. At Kriya, we'll be teaching our guests how to practice Indian traditional yoga, but at the same time, we'll be using modern props so that the experience is not just enchanting, but at the same time convenient for our guests. Sangeet. Sangeet refers to music. So we intend to offer the Indian music therapy. We'll be tying up with Dr. M. Hariharan's organization, who is the first Indian music therapist and healer from India. At Vedas, we will be offering Vedanta sessions. As we are catering to the group market, we'll have these sessions together for groups of people, be it the pre-wedding segment or be it the corporates. At Sula Wine, we'll be partnering with Sula Vineyards to offer authentic Indian wines in the form of spa treatments. So we would like our groups to sit together, bond together, and take manicures and pedicures using Indian wines. In terms of food and beverage offerings, our USP will be the Indian Spice Bazaar. Indian Spice Bazaar will basically be displaying all the Indian spices and demonstrating their use in regular cooking, as well as the medicinal qualities that they offer. At Machan, we'll have a get-together pavilion for our corporates, which will cater to the smaller groups, but at the same time offer recreational activities like cookery classes, as well as corporate workshops. At Kalari, we have tried to capture the essence of Indian culture. It will be our performance arena where we'll be displaying Indian talent through dance, music, as well as theatre. And through Mela, which will be our art gallery, we'll be basically displaying the artifacts from true India. As we are catering to the group segments, we will be having banquet halls of different sizes catering to needs of each and every segment. So in summary, what Sartha is all about? It's an innovative accommodation theme along with unique culinary experiences, followed by traditional Indian practices of Ayurveda and yoga, at the same time offering our guests alternate therapies, the new therapies in the Indian market, that is Indian venotherapy as well as the Indian music therapy. So here is the guest experience cycle at the Sartha. So the guest will check in at the resort, which will be followed by a pre-treatment consultation. We'll be profiling your body type and the doshas, further to which we'll be personalizing the treatment by prescribing and recommending the techniques. This will be then followed by, this will be then followed by on-site wellness programs. After which we'll offer post-treatment consultation to our guests. I'm so sorry, I think Abhinav will take over.
So moving on, I'd like to take you guys through the marketing strategy and the financials. In the marketing strategy, we are following the ROC model, that is the reach, obtain, close, and keep, hence ROC. We are not that creative. So in reach, the idea is to reach out to more and more people to make them much more aware about our offering and our brand, which we'll be doing through a mixture of aggressive promotions and more channels. If you look at obtain, that is where through our different sales strategy and sales partners, we actually get the customer to come to us. And this will be done one way through offers and discounts to entice them. And secondly, through tie-ups. The idea is to increase our points of sales so that more and more of our product can be pushed across. In the close part, that is where we actually start a relationship between ourselves and the different customers and different clients. So this will be done through rewards, relationship building, maybe using something like rate cards and book-ups parties. In the keep part, the keep focus will be on retention. We want the client to come to us again and again. And here, the idea is that we will be providing quality services at a very value for money propositions. So I'll just take example of one small customer segment, that is the corporate retreats, to give you an idea as to how would this entire ROC model flow. So in the reach part, that is where we want people to be aware of us. We'll be using Facebook, we'll be using our own apps. We probably will be using something innovative like a stress meter, which will be a questionnaire-based app. So when you use that app, you'll get a rating. And on one end of the rating scale, you would be not stressed at all. But on the other hand, you have something like time to go to the spa. When you look at the obtain side, we will be tying up with the MICE division and most of the travel operators to get them to flow the business towards our side. In the close part, the rate card and the bookers party, as I went through earlier. In the key part, what we have is something like an event planner. So this would allow that someone, the lead coordinator from the client side, will have a direct connection to someone on our side who can help them out. This was just for the corporate retreat. Apart from that, we'll be doing the same thing for other customer segments also. In the strategic alliances, we'll be tying up with a lot of different people. On the operation side, we would have SULA, Indian Music Therapy. On the associations, we would tie up with people like in the ISPA or the Inner Wheel, which is the members of the wives of the Rotary Club. Moving on, in the domestic operators and international operators, we'll be tying up with relevant people so as to make sure that we are getting both the wedding market and the corporate treats business to our spa. Based on the plan we've shown you, what you expect is that the corporate treat will be approximately 50 to 60% of the business, while the room rent will be 60% of the revenue flowing through. We have a very low capacity utilization expected in the first year. The idea is that since this is a business in which we have a brand first before we get the returns, so that is why we expect to have a 34% capacity utilization in the first year, moving on to somewhere like 80% in the year 3 onwards. The entire project is expected to have an internal rate of return of 32%, with the NPV or the value of the project expected to be at 186 million. We did a bit of sensitivity analysis of the project also. So what we see the key risks to the value of this project are majorly on the revenue side. That is the initial penetration, the growth rates. We see significantly less risk on your cost side. And as a result, we believe that the key skill you require to pull off this project successfully will be of marketing. The rollout expansion plan. So this entire plan or the business plan or the proposal was made focused entirely on Delhi. So that is the customer segmentation and the market we looked at. Similarly, as we did for Delhi, we can roll this out for other cities also in India, like Mumbai, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad. In popular cities like Delhi and Mumbai, we can even have something like a super center that instead of 50 room, we have 100 room, or maybe have a 50 room on one end of the city and another 50 room on the other end of the city, just to tap the market in the city in fully. Worldwide, what we think is that the areas that we like are places with high Indian diaspora. So the idea is that these are the places in which customers themselves are very much affected by the Indian culture, and that will be a good area for us to be. Some possible areas will be UK, US, and South Africa. So this, in a nutshell, was what Sartha is, and I'd like to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for that exciting presentation. Next, we have the Institute of Hotel Management at Aurangabad, otherwise known as the Taj School. So if I could have Shira Mahant up, Baum Sagal, and Raj Shah, if you would all come forward. And I would also like to introduce their professor, Satish Jairam. And the architects are Jeffrey Wilkes. So you're going to see a great team here, so thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Team RVs, allow me to take the opportunity, first of all, to thank the complete GSWS team for giving us the opportunity to bring our innovation to the world, and I think we'll be highly indebted to them over the period of time. Now, I would begin with the name of our company, which is RV Spa Solutions, how it came into existence. I would like to introduce my colleagues, Raj Shah and Shreya. RVs was a mashup of the initials of our name, R for Raj Shah, V for Varun, and S for Shreya Mahant. Now moving on, what was our major inspiration when we made this company? We wanted to concentrate on the wellness of India as a whole. After wellness, looking into the reality of our country, in a country of a population of 1.232 billion, where 0.9 billion of this population is in rural areas and 0.4 billion out of the 0.9 in rural areas are under the poverty line, which is a very dangerous scenario. And it is here that we want to work with the lifestyle of the average Indian to holistically improve their lifestyle. So we are concentrating on, let's just say, 1% of the 0.4 in under the poverty line to improve the standards of their lifestyle. Now, coming up to our rationale of innovation, what we are trying to do is spas were a downward spiral till now. They were from the niche market on the top, they would come to the middle market. But where we are trying to create entry level in spas is at the entry level in the core villages. So we are going to improve concepts and bring a completely new generation of grassroots spas. The second thing we are aiming at is new components for existing systems. That is by bringing in the simplistic innovations to create an out-of-the-box guest experience. Now moving on to something that we call corporate philosophy for our company, the major purpose of our company is to create a paradigm in spas. That is moving on from a biomedical model to a socio-cultural model. That is using spas as a medium of social integration. We are incorporating values of Indian culture, pioneering change through simplistic innovations at the grassroots level, and social integration. Now, in spas, it gets really difficult to measure success. So how is RVs planning to measure their success? The first point, most important, is the growth of our grassroots level spas throughout the country. How successful can we make it at the entry level? The second is creating awareness about health, hygiene, medicine in core levels where there is still a lot of problem regarding health and medicine, which NGOs like WHO and UNESCO are trying to bridge. So we are trying to become the medium to help them bridge this gap regarding health and reduce mortality rates and other diseases which are very common. The third point being creating awareness on complete holistic well-being, which not only involves the spa lifestyle, but also health in general, hygiene in general, what to eat, what not to eat, what to do, and what not to do. Now, moving on to the logo of our company, I really prize my team for this. Now, if you see the name of our brand, the first brand at the grassroots level, we call it Spasthya. The word originates from the ancient Devanagari word swasthya, meaning health, and spa is the modern joining of that, so to create Spasthya so that it becomes easier for the entry-level people to connect out of curiosity and proper connectivity. Now, if you see the tagline, it's Jagrit Swasthya or Jeevan. Now, why I keep it in Hindi? Because I want people at that level to understand our company. So Jagrit Swasthya or Jeevan means enlightened health and life. That is the message we want to bring to them, that this is most important. Now, coming to the vision and mission of our company, again, as in Hindi, because we want to keep it as simplistic for them as possible, the vision of our company is Pragatishil Jeevan or Behtar Swasthya, which means transforming life with better health, and the mission is Badhte Atmavikas or Jeevan Shali ke Path Par, which means creating self-development and developing newer avenues of lifestyle. So the aim is empowering these people in a skill and moving from an idea of educational development to skill development for these people at the core so that they can become assets of the future. Now, coming to the service that are offered at Spasthya, we are like any other spa. Like, we offer Ayurvedic treatment therapies, full body massages, yoga and meditation services, dietary assistance, weekly seminars on health and hygiene. The food and beverage service at our spa is called Sattva. Now, Sattva means pure. Now, we've given a handout to the judges which has the menu of Sattva, and the menu of Sattva predominantly has organic food in it, which helps clearing the toxins in our body and give us a healthy lifestyle. Apart from that, we also have our signature retail products which will be dispatched from Sattva, which are again organic and Ayurvedic. These are some of our signature retail products that you can also look up at the site that has been created by my colleagues, that is www.rvspas.webs.com. So as you can see, the first diagram is of essences and herbal oils, which we are trying to bring in from the south and the northeast, where the concentration of Ayurveda is the most. Moving on to the second image, we have packaged food products that are organic rye, barley, other prepared food products which would help improve health in general. The third product below the packaged foods is body care products, our skincare lotions, beauty products and all, completely Ayurvedic and for betterment of skin, body and health, something that is very important in spas. Now, if we look at the fourth product, it is a very interesting product. We call it a cookbook, but it's got recipes for the common man. It's got how to maintain a healthy lifestyle. It will tell you how to do the processes of yoga. So like we have a wine and food pairing menu, now we will have a yoga and food pairing menu. Now coming to the demographics of the country, now if you see, India stretches for 3,209 kilometers from the north to the south and 2,354 kilometers from west to east. Now, if you see, most of our operations are concentrated towards the north and the east. We've not tried to penetrate to the south because we've heard a lot about Kerala, Tamil Nadu, etc. yesterday, and it is so jam-packed that we don't want to move in there. Now, what we've done is that we've done a competitive analysis of what competition we are going to face in north and the east and the west, which is again available at the original document that we'd submitted to you, and it's here with the judges. So apart from these, in these particular areas, what we are doing is that these are the upcoming cities, and we are trying to get into the village, the tehsils and the talukas and talk to the youth in vernacular languages and tell them how wellness and lifestyle can help them create a job, and so that they can move forward and tell them that this is a medium of living. Now coming to our marketing strategy, which is very, very interesting. The first one being website and social networking like Facebook and Twitter. Why? Because the youth of today is always on the computer. So we want your children to advocate our spa to you when they see it on Facebook and Twitter. The second one being the radio jingle. I don't know, the Indians would know about this. In villages and in tehsils where there's still no electricity, radio is a common mode for getting information. We have something called Vivid Bharati that continuously plays channels in vernacular languages. So we are trying to come up with a marketing strategy that would speak about health and hygiene and job creations at this level in all languages possible, so that we can get the most of the village youth. Sorry. Now coming to our event management, what we are going to do is we are going to have village level functions. We're going to do simplistic village level events so that we can get more and more people to listen to us, and we can get more and more people to believe that this is an avenue for job creation, or this is an avenue where we can give them a lifestyle. Now the third part is local intermediaries like e-Chopal and village panchayats, which are the village headmen, the village heading groups to whom we can talk, and we can get the whole village to participate with us. The fourth point being the alliance with hotels and travel agents, and how the hotels and travel agents, we're going to patch up with them and we're going to work out a scheme. Now I would ask Shreya Mahant to take you through the processes.
So during our marketing strategy, we would be starting with the construction of our Spastel layout. This entire layout that as you can see, is based on Vastu Shastra, which is an Indian ancient form of architecture, and all the units of this layout have been designed in such a way that they represent 5 elements of nature, which is Agni, that is fire, Vayu, which is wind, we have water, which is Jal, and air, which would be Akash, and finally earth, which is Prithvi. This would be a sample of our construction, which would be locally produced products, which would help in low cost execution. It would be available locally. This is one of our treatment room Agni, which would be in the southeast direction, and this is a 3D layout of a typical treatment room in our These are mobile open pods, which is Vayu, which represents air, and they could be flexible enough to be moved around in our construction area. This is just a representation of the 5 elements which would be incorporated in our layout. We have the couple treatment room, which is Jal. It would have some hydrotherapy sessions, which would have some romantic settings for our couples. This is the representation for the same. The Spaste salon, which is called Prithvi, which would have some salon services like manicure, pedicure, and some hair salon. This is just an elevated diagram of our reception and Satwa, where we would be serving healthy products like Ayurvedic beverages and Sattvic products, Sattvic food, which means pure and organic food. This would be a sample representation of the food that we would be providing to our customers so that they could have a healthy thali preparation, which you must have heard about in India, where we have some vegetables and some rice and some dal along with it. So that would be provided to the customers. And this is just a sample of how we would be depicting our interiors in this Spaste. This is the RV Spa Solution website, which Varun was talking about, and it would be also in the Indian local languages, so that it would be understandable for the entry level people. And these are the products where we could sell online as well.
Coming to the revenue management, we have the rev path, which is revenue per available treatment hour, which would take in control the demand control strategies, membership programs, discount allocations. All these are based on the economies, relative economies of scale for India, which is about 1/10 of any developed country. We also have supporting services to complete the loop of having complete all kinds of services available at Spaste. So that's Satwa and signature retail products. This is the human resource, which is our key strength for the industry, for the spa, which is we will recruit people from the villages, the youth, the 70% youth population of India. We will together make them the masseurs, like we'll train them to have them as masseurs in the spas, having them bring together the warmth and the hospitality of India, and which is together we have the business model. So when we look at this is a whole picture of our business. Together the spa, the key partnerships, resources, activities, channels, segments, relationships, what we share with the consumers. Coming to the revenue streams, we have 6 revenue streams, which will be incremental revenue streams will be food and beverage and signature retail products. Apart from that, we have spa treatments, which comprise of 58%. We promise a ROI, return on investment, of about 14.14%, which is about 7 years of payback period, and the net profit is 11.03%. Our income revenues, excluding taxes, would be about $280,000, and $215,000 will be our operating costs. After all the legitimate Indian taxes, we would have a net profit of about $15,000. And having said that, we look at a very low like scale, but then it's if we convert it into INR, it would be a good number. The break-even point is 974 units. That's 974 therapies. That's about 30 therapies a day across 5 treatment rooms. These are the growth plans. These are the rollout plans globally, which is into Russia, Middle East, South Africa, and Brazil, which are the countries which are promising to be developed in the near future. And these are our brands which are under designs. So we have the Spakriti, which is human aura. The logo depicts a human aura. So we are looking at holographic yoga rooms in that, whereas in about 2030, we have the Veda Spa, which is looking at radical innovations like the Luvo Eye, which has small cells in which there will be treatments happening across the spa. So we will have a lot more of technology and less of human resource then. Namaste. That's about us. Thank you so much.
And the amount of time they put into this. And last but not least is the University of Delhi, New Delhi, India, the Faculty of Management Studies. So if you all would come forward. As students, we have Arvind Hoskote, we have Sayed Ashraf Hussain, and we have Neha Yosi and Kumar Prasanti. And their professor is Dr. Monica Singha. Hello, Monica. And their architect is Tarun Sewa. Okay, thank you very much. Take it away, guys.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming down on such an early morning. And we are here to talk about our concept of Sparsh, and that's the name that we give our venture. First of all, just before I start, I'll just give you a warning. These slides may look a little weird. That's because we tried to do it in Prezi, and it did not work. So we had a technical issue. Anyone who wants the slide will give you the URL, and it's a brilliant way of how do you present slides. That's something that you must actually go down to the web and see. Excuse me. So we'll just start. The challenge was to design a spa/wellness resort that could work in India. It was based on Indian ethos, but could be global. And at every step of the way, our thought was to how do we take Indian culture as it is, distill whatever is there, and make it something that is universally acceptable. So we did it in 3 ways. The first step was to look at actually what is available in the Indian scenario today and worldwide. We looked at the existing spas, the destination spas that we have. You have all heard about the Vana resorts and the Anandas. We looked at the day resorts available. And then we looked at where is the gap today available. That gave us an idea of what could possibly be our first breakthrough. A destination spa that was 3 hours away from a major financial district. Because in India, the reality is this: a destination spa at times needs at least a day of traveling because it's far off in the Himalayas. The next step was to actually go back to our roots and understand what is Indian culture all about. Is it about the colors that you see out there? Do we really make it all jazzy with reds and goldens and blues? Or is it about more subtle? Is there something that we can take away from Indian culture, the whole idea of wellness, that actually transcends perhaps upsetting someone's tastes? I think most of us would not want to stay for 3 days in a very gaudy room. It looks nice for a day, but after a time it starts to get to you. And exactly, I can see from the smiles that it gets to you. And the third part was that most spa treatments are passive involvements. When you go for you choose your treatment, at that point it just stops, your involvement stops. We wanted to change it. We said that if you want to be there for 3 days, the customer, the spa consumer should be as involved in it as it's a daily routine. And that was the 3 key things which brought us to the idea of Sparsh, a destination spa 3 hours away from a major financial district. We have the first launches for an Indian plan, but we firmly believe whatever we have come out with can be taken as it is and transplanted to a foreign country. And now for the first round of detail, So I now ask Prashant to come over and talk to you about.
Thank you so much, Ashraf. I would like to carry forward from where Ashraf actually left. So essentially, the central theme of our concept for this spa is want sustainability, and by sustainability I not only mean emphasis and focus on greener means of construction, but I also mean sustainability of the business model. By this, essentially the point I'm trying to make here is you do not want your customers to essentially be a one-time affair. You want to make this a repeat activity. So you want your customers to be engaged over a long-term period. You want your customers to keep coming back to your place and not just be a one-time affair. So to give you a brief snapshot of what presently is happening in the spa industry in the country, we broadly have 3 categories of spas. One, your day spas. Number 2 is hotel spas, and number 3 is destination spas. Now let us pay some amount of detail into each of these categories and look what's exactly happening in each of these. Though your day spas provide proximity and convenience to your customers, they severely lack when it comes to the range of offerings, range of spa services offerings. So very seldom do you actually come across a day spa which actually provides offerings from medical treatments to yoga to beauty treatments to various other aspects of wellness. So the point I'm really trying to make here is day spas severely lack and do not comprehensively cater to the overall wellness theme, and there are several other dimensions that can actually be covered under the broader wellness umbrella. Hotel spas, however, outscore day spas when it comes to the range of offerings, but there is a problem here in the very nature of the product. A spa in a hotel is essentially a supplementary product. The primary product here being hotel accommodation based related services. So what does that do to your TG, your target group? Your target group is primarily limited to your hotel guests, and you're missing out on a major chunk of the market, all spa goers, but who do not wish to be a part of the hotel. So destination spa, on the other hand, we believe is the most comprehensive when it comes to the overall wellness regime. The range of offerings is maximum in the matrix. But there's a problem with destination spas too in the country presently. So the biggest problem that that came out of our research on destination spas is the fact that they're present in very remote locations, far off from places like Delhi, Bombay, and your other metropolitan cities. So essentially, it takes a dedicated vacation for a customer to actually be a part of a destination spa session. So noting down all of these, so essentially your corporate, let's say you have a customer who's a corporate employee, he essentially has 2 to 3 vacation periods, and it becomes really, again, going back to my point about sustainability and repeat spa visits, it becomes very difficult for a customer who essentially has 2 to 3 vacation periods in a year to actually keep coming back to your place. So noting down all of these details, we sense a significant business opportunity, and this primarily led to the origination of Sparsh. Request Neha to delve into more details about the concept.
Thank you, Kumar. So we basically talk about Sparsh as a concept. Now what is Sparsh? Fasa is a root word from Sanskrit or the Pali language, which is an ancient Indian language, and it actually means touch. Now touch, for many of us, we'll think as body touch, but touch has more to it. It's about 6 types of touches: eyes, ears, nose, body, mind, and skin touch, as we all know. So sense consciousness, sense organ, and sense object. When all these 3 factors come together, we get a sense of touch. And this is exactly what Sparsh as a spa we want to concentrate on. Sparsh, Shamohi Paramam Sukham. That is our tagline, which means that in ultimate, the relaxation is it where lies the ultimate happiness, and that is what we want to give to our customers. Wellness of body, mind and soul, which has been seen throughout the ancient Indian culture. So what is special about Sparsh? Why is it so different from the other spas which we see in India as well as globally? Because Sparsh has distilled the Indian culture, taken the Indian ethos, and now we want to cater to the global clients as well as the Indian clients. So it's a one-stop weekend destination which uses active involvement as one of its key concepts. By active involvement, I mean lifestyle experiences which will be further explained by my friend, and that is what the customers take away when they go to Sparsh. After Sparsh, they get a rejuvenation and a sense of energy which they can keep for the rest of, say, a month or so.
So before I show you a glimpse of Sparsh and how it looks, we wanted to let you know what was the underlying philosophy behind the entire spa design. So we wanted to build a sustainable spa. We believe that by this, we would be able to make the customers aware of cultural and environmental challenges that we face currently. And also, we would also be able to provide financial benefits and also empower the local community. Also, as Ashraf mentioned, we also wanted to make an Indian spa, which is not too Indian, in the sense that we didn't really want to play with way too many colors. We wanted to keep it very simple, elegant, which could be rolled out globally. So here, I would like to take the opportunity to thank Tarun and his entire team for coming up with, bringing to life the entire philosophy that we had behind this spa design. Taking you forward, this is how Sparsh looks. We move to the entrance. So we move to the entrance here. Right at the entrance, you reach the arrival court. You've got parking on both the sides. And here, you are greeted by an employee who takes you to the entrance reception lobby. And here, you get done with your paperwork. When it comes to booking your spa treatments, your accommodation, and so on. From here, you move to your internal courts. And this is where you get your first experience of the spa. The internal courts are utilized over the course of your entire 3 to 5 year, 5-day package for a lot of variety of outside external activities. You have a pathway here. We show you a pathway which takes you towards your accommodation section. You will have thatched plantations that provide shade while you are proceeding along. This is our accommodation section. So if we are providing 3 basic types of accommodation to our customers, 3 options. A very basic single bed accommodation, which is called a royal accommodation room. Classic accommodation room. We have 35 numbers of these. Then we've got 9 numbers of royal accommodation rooms, which are double bed rooms. And finally, we've got 5 villas, which are our premium segments. So these are, this is the general layout of our royal classic rooms. So very typical standard rooms. This is a villa. So what is the primary value proposition that we are providing in a villa? So it is an all-encompassing structure. You also have a spa treatment room built into it. So people who are actually staying in a villa, they don't really have to go to your spa treatment section to get their spa treatments done. You can get it done here itself. The pool area. And now we come to our treatment rooms. This is the heart of the entire concept. So these treatment rooms, there is a spa treatment section that provides these treatments for all the other people who are not residing in villas. And you have a basic layout of your treatment rooms that has let's talk about the design of these treatment rooms. We'll find that these treatment rooms have, we use a lot of filigree artwork here that is very typical of Indian architecture. And you have, these are lighted from behind with white lighting. You're playing on a dark light shade kind of a thing, which is very elegant. Here, so what are the offerings that we are providing to you? All our treatments are subdivided into 4 classes. We've got Ayurvedic rituals that focuses on the ancient Indian medical system of Ayurveda. Then we also have 3 other sections, which is yogic rituals, which focus on yoga, which is gaining in popularity across the world. We've got relaxation rituals that focus on meditative techniques. And finally, we've got beauty treatments. We also have created customized packages that we believe our customer segments would really want to look at. We've named them Ashoka, Agastya, and Urvashi. Ashoka is basically a king from ancient India. And what we are trying to portray here is that these treatments, this package will make you feel royal and regal. whereas Agastya is a sage from ancient India, very renowned for his knowledge. And we believe that, so we are trying to portray here that this package will make you feel spiritually enlightened. But when it comes to Urvashi, she was a very beautiful woman in Indian folklore. And so it's pretty much obvious that that package focuses on the entire beauty treatments. So, but if you take a step back and we talk about our central theme, we were talking about how we wanted to change the entire concept from passive involvement of customers to active involvement of customers. And we realized that in a package, typically in a single day, you've got 2 to 3 treatments lined up for a customer. And that takes typically, what, 4 hours. What about the rest of the time? We said that for a more holistic health and wellness experience, we want the customers to experience various lifestyle practices that were present in ancient India that had a lot of health benefits, spiritual benefits, if you choose to have them. And so what happens is you incorporate these into your daily lifestyle when you are at the spa and then when you go back. And this, we believe, will be a more holistic wellness experience. So what are these lifestyle experiences? Board and card games. These provide you with they are very mentally stimulating games, and it actually provides you with a feel-good factor. You've got pottery, you've got gardening, astrology, dance therapies, sword fighting. So with sword fighting, I don't mean that you'll actually have sword fighting here. You'll have you'll have training sessions with wooden sticks given by professionals, and all these lifestyle experiences have been shown to have various health benefits. And so we believe that incorporating them would be a great idea for the spa. Finally, we also have an in-house restaurant that serves organic food, focused majorly on the Indian cuisine. But when rolled out globally, there could be changes in that as well. Moving forward.
So moving forward, we talk about the target customer segment. The target customer segment is basically the corporate employee. Initially, we want that the entire spa be into a premium segment, but these are the few target segments we would like to show you right now, which we would be targeting in the initial stage. So a corporate employee who is working very hard during the weekdays and on a weekend needs a weekend getaway destination to get the stress out of his life. What he issues as high stress, high spending income, health conscious, and he believes in Indian Ayurveda. The next is the Indian housewife. So she is a very social person, beauty and wellness conscious. The issue she faces that she is very social, she has a social status, she wants to maintain it, she likes to pamper herself, and the third one is the international tourist. So international tourists, like the expatriates, what we want to try, they are very much interested into the Indian culture. How we intend to go on to these customer segments. So basically, talking about the marketing strategy, we intend to do programs like customer engagement programs, referral programs, something like a membership or a loyalty program, so that the customers keep on coming back to us, and we provide them also the organic products. The market size which we estimated is $1.3 billion, and we have shown the financials. Right now they are not on the slide, but we have mentioned them in the report. Sparsh is expected to break even in the 5th year of its operations with a 19% growth. These are some of the customer engagement activities we would like to do to encourage more promotion, home lifestyle practices, promote referrals by friends, etc. And thank you so much.
Thank you, students. Thank you very, very much. So you can see the work the students put into this. You can see the excitement behind it, and they're not through yet. Tomorrow at 7:45, the judges will grill them and find out what they have to say and get them in detail. So we will be announcing, what time will we announce tomorrow at what time? In the afternoon, okay. Tomorrow in the afternoon, we will be announcing the winners. I'm glad the judges have to make that decision, aren't you? So let's have a big hand for those students.